What I'm going to tell you, chosen one, will forever alter your life. It is no coincidence that you are currently watching this video. This is a divine message of transformation, and God has brought you here for a reason. It is no longer your responsibility to fight from now on. God Himself is taking control of your riches and prosperity. Therefore, your financial problems are about to come to an end. Those who earlier made fun of you for your lack will soon realize that God is showing the world how rich you really are, and the abundance you have been praying for is on its way. Nothing will stop the blessings that are already coming your way. This is your time and your season. To help us reach 10,000 subscribers, please use the like button, make a remark with the number 777, and subscribe before we delve further into this potent revelation. This number will intensify the message of abundance and bring strong energy into your life. Your spirit already understands that this truth is for you. Therefore, if you are genuinely a chosen one, you will stick by me through everything. Your life is going to alter in ways you can't even fathom, so get ready. Every journey has a turning point where the blessings start and the struggles end. The burden of money no longer rests on those who have been selected by God. He has a responsibility now. The universe's creator, who has planned every second of your life, has assured you that there will always be plenty. This is a divine assurance rather than just a wish or hope. Your success is built on the unwavering foundation of God's faithfulness, not on your own hard work or hustling. Consider a river that never runs out of water. No matter how much is taken from it, it always replenishes itself. God's provision for you is like that. Because He has promised to always provide for you as His chosen one, you are destined to lead a prosperous life, not because of your hard work. This divine obligation is evidence of His steadfast devotion to His word. It's time to put an end to your struggles and begin to have faith in this unbreakable covenant. It is God's duty to supply, so you can relax knowing that your necessities are taken care of. You are now walking in the assurance of His provision, rather than being vulnerable to life's uncertainties. You will find a calm that surpasses all comprehension when you accept the fact that your wealth is a sign of His love for you. This serenity comes from knowing that your future is safely in His hands, not only from the riches that will be yours. Something changed the instant you embraced your divine calling. You transitioned from a life of hardship to one of divine provision. You've outlived the days of fighting scarcity, pushing yourself to the bone, and being afraid of the unknown. You are already experiencing the wealth of God's promises in your life. With God's grace and favor, what seemed like an endless uphill trek has become a smooth downhill journey. Achieving this divine abundance involves more than simply material wealth. It involves an overflow that affects all facets of your life, including your relationships, health, and purpose. Wealth is the richness of life that God wants for you, not just having money. You will experience the joy and serenity that come from being blessed by God when you accept this reality. It completely changes the way you think and how you perceive things. It was God's perfect will, not your power or abilities, that selected you for greatness. You no longer have your share of the struggle. Divine abundance that surpasses your wildest expectations is what awaits you right now. Let go of the burdens of the past and have faith in this new reality. The time has come for you to get what has always been yours. According to God, confidence comes from knowing that you are backed by a force bigger than yourself, rather than from being self-sufficient. You navigate life with an unwavering certainty that everything you require will be provided when you accept the faith of divine supply. You are certain of God's unwavering goodness and His resolve to keep His promises in your life, so you are no longer uncertain about the future. Imagine a child's assurance that their parents will always take care of them. This child isn't concerned about where they'll get their next meal or whether they'll have a place to live. As you enter the abundance that God has reserved for you, you are encouraged to embrace this type of confidence. Your heart will be filled with the same confidence and security, which will make every action you perform simpler, lighter, and more tranquil. To have faith in God's provision is to live without fear or uncertainty. It entails having faith in God's timing and His ways, even when the way forward appears unclear. You may release the tension that arises from attempting to control every situation once you realize that He is your source. Now that you know that God's plan is always perfect and working out for your good, you may live with confidence. You won't have to work non-stop to make ends meet anymore. From now on, God is in charge of wealth. All you have to do is submit to His plan and have faith in His timing. God will have more room to do His miracles in your life the more you let go of the weight of attempting to manage your financial destiny. This is an active faith approach, not a passive one, where you believe that God will open doors to success beyond your wildest expectations as you go forward in obedience. The universe was created by God, who also spoke the stars into being. If He can accomplish such amazing things, He can undoubtedly meet all of your needs. Nothing is too big for God to manage, including the money and assets you require to achieve your goals. You will start to see how everything comes together to provide you with what you need at the exact moment you need it as you move into this reality. Knowing that God is in charge of money relieves you of the need to solve every problem on your own. You may concentrate on trusting and carrying out your calling, rather than fretting about how you'll make it happen. You can anticipate having more than enough to live a life of impact and abundance when God assumes responsibility for your wealth. Now is the time to dispel any uncertainty you may have over your financial future. God is not a man who should tell lies, and He keeps His word. You can be confident that He will find a way if He has called you to live abundantly. Your aspirations are not too lofty for God, and you can achieve your objectives. In the spiritual world, things that appear unattainable in the natural world are already done. God's plan for you involves a wealth that will surpass your wildest dreams, so there's no need to disbelieve it. Financial success is a concept that many people find difficult to grasp because they think it is only for a chosen few or that they are somehow undeserving of immense fortune. However, you have been selected. Greatness is your destiny. You will receive wealth that will help you achieve your life's mission, in addition to benefiting you personally. God will make sure you have the means to fulfill your purpose, whether it is to assist people, fund charitable endeavors, or create something that transforms the world. Miracles are possible the instant you put doubt out of your thoughts. You will witness more of God's promises being fulfilled in your life, the more you match your thinking with them. You are not destined to struggle or live in poverty. Financial abundance is part of God's plan for you, and it will come to you in ways you never imagined. Accept the fact that God is going to make you a millionaire and let go of any uncertainty. The knowledge that God will provide is incredibly powerful. It makes you feel secure, at ease, and confident that nothing in this world can take it away. You may live a happy, free life, free from anxiety and fear, when you know that your needs will be satisfied. Knowing that God's supply is constantly at your fingertips changes the way you live and gives you the confidence to take risks. This trust is grounded in God's promises and experience rather than being blind. Consider all of the times He has already provided for you. Every miracle, every answered prayer, and every breakthrough were not coincidental. Rather, they were acts of supernatural provision, and they serve as evidence that God will continue to care for you. The more you think about this concept, the more you may use it as a basis for your life. You may proceed with assurance when you know that God will supply. You don't need to worry about the future or be afraid of the unknown. Your life has already been prearranged by the universe's creator, who has also paved the route for your success. You can overcome any obstacle with this awareness, knowing that God's provision will see you through it. People may unavoidably doubt, ridicule, or criticize your accomplishment as you start to live out your divine prosperity. But let me tell you, you don't have to worry about them. You cannot let other people's thoughts or ideas affect what God has promised you. No one can take away your abundance, which is evidence of God's faithfulness. No one can curse you if you are blessed by God. It's simple to lose hope when others make fun of your goals or downplay your accomplishments, but keep in mind that God, not them, controls your destiny. Furthermore, no human perspective can change the fact that He has spoken prosperity over your life. Your success and prosperity are evidence of His favor and His provisional capacity. In times of ridicule or uncertainty, rise above, remain focused on God's promises, and keep in mind that the blessings you are experiencing are a testament to His goodness and power, not just for you. Your abundance will speak for itself as you ascend above the cacophony, drowning out any obstacle in your path. God's plan for you is one of eternal richness that will endure for generations to come, not a band-aid solution. This divine prosperity comes to you as you act in accordance with God's purpose. It is not something you must always seek. You must put out effort by trusting and obeying, not by striving or struggling. The wealth will come after you do it. The world tells you that perseverance and hard work are the keys to success. Although diligence has its merits, God has a different plan for you. It's about trusting that He will deliver the increase and resting in His provision. Your life will overflow with blessings when you live in accordance with His purpose, and you will be in a position to accept everything He has promised without being overly exhausted in the process. The greatest form of freedom is this type of divine provision. You no longer need to worry about where the next blessing will come from or live in dread of lack. God's purpose for eternal richness, a treasure that surpasses what the earth can provide, is reflected in your life. It's time to totally accept that this is what God has planned for you. Wealth is a tool to help you achieve your divine purpose, not merely for your own delight. Remind yourself that tremendous riches entails enormous responsibility as you enter the abundance that God has promised you. This duty is a pleasure rather than a burden. You have the opportunity to change the world, change lives, and leave a legacy for decades to come. Your riches serves as a vehicle for advancing God's kingdom and enabling others to enjoy the same benefits that you have. In ways that nothing else can, wealth, when utilized properly, can change societies, mend families, and spread love. This is how divine prosperity really works. The lives you can impact and the good you can accomplish in the world are more important than the possessions you can purchase or the way of life you can lead. Your money will have a deeper meaning when you accept this responsibility, and you will feel truly fulfilled. You are supposed to share your divine fortune. You will receive more if you offer more. The adage, "What you sow, you reap," is the foundation of abundance. You will experience an even greater flow of blessings if you use your wealth to further God's kingdom and help others. You have been selected to utilize your fortune to achieve a greater good, and you will enjoy the satisfaction that comes with leaving a lasting impression. Indeed, this is the script's continuation, elaborating on the following headings. A concrete expression of God's faithfulness to you is when you start to feel divine wealth. His promises are firm, unwavering truths that never falter. They are not just platitudes. You are receiving more than just financial gain as you enter the plenty He has planned for you. You are also learning more about His love and loyalty. God's unwavering nature and His desire to see you thrive are reflected in every blessing you get. Consider the times in your life when you've seen God provide for you. Perhaps there was a moment when you felt totally powerless, and He offered a solution that was better than you could have ever dreamed. Or maybe it was in the little commonplace mercies that remind you that He is always there. The constant, continuous provision that demonstrates God's faithfulness at every turn is what defines divine richness, not just the major triumphs. Your heart is filled with wonder and thankfulness when you recognize that the wealth you are enjoying is a gift from God rather than something you earned on your own. It changes your mindset from one of effort to grace, from one of seeking to accepting. You realize that God's faithfulness to His word is the reason for everything you own. You can rely on this divine abundance to continue flowing into your life, both now and in the future, because He is dependable. There may be some who question your achievement, or even make fun of your newfound blessings as you accept the abundant life that God has for you. The fact is, however, that they are unable to touch what God has blessed. The prosperity that God has planned for you cannot be lessened by any amount of criticism, condemnation, or derision. No one can oppose His favor once it has been placed in your life. The beauty of divine abundance is that it's about achieving the purpose God has for you, not about proving others incorrect. Your success and wealth will be self-evident. Eventually, those who formerly made fun of you will be amazed by what God has accomplished in your life. They will realize that it was always about the heavenly favor bestowed upon you, not your own skills. And eventually, Your accomplishment will serve as evidence of God's goodness and capacity to change people's lives. Keep in mind that people who criticize frequently do so because of their own fears or misconceptions. Your reality is defined by God's word, not by their opinions. Therefore, don't let anyone's negative influence you, and stick to His promises. The mockers will eventually disappear as you live in the fullness of God's blessing, leaving behind the indisputable evidence of God's favor in your life. Living in the fullness of God's provision entails living life as it was intended to be, broad, tranquil, and devoid of insecurity. This is a profound, all-encompassing state of being, rather than only a surface-level sensation. You're thriving, not just getting by. God's abundant supply affects all aspects of your life, including your relationships, finances, health, and dreams. It's all under God's hand. It takes time to experience the fullness of God's provision. It is a process of growing in reliance and confidence. You will start to notice more and more proof of God's concern for you as your faith deepens. You will see possibilities that look too good to be true, doors that open effortlessly, and amazing breakthroughs. However, since God is dependable and has a complete life in store for you, they will come to pass. Knowing that God will provide for all of your needs and more is what it means to be full, not having everything you desire. There is no fear of lack when you live in the abundance of His provision. Knowing that your Creator is walking with you and providing for you in ways you cannot understand allows you to face each day with a heart full of thankfulness. God has asked you to live this life, which is one of joy, serenity, and plenty. Achieving financial success doesn't need making a bold leap into the unknown. Rather, it involves taking a confident stride with the knowledge that God will be at your side the entire while. Knowing that everything you require for success is already en route to you is known as divine certainty. You don't have to question whether you're headed in the correct direction or whether everything will turn out okay. God has already gone before you, so you can move on with complete assurance. Knowing that your activities are in line with God's intention for your life provides you the confidence to take risks. You can take action without fear, whether that action is investing, starting a new business, or seizing an opportunity. You are aware that not only is God with you, but He is also paving the way. It's time for you to confidently enter into the strategies He has already put in place for your success. Walking in God's favor naturally leads to wealth. It follows you as you stay true to Him rather than being something you seek out. You will start to see how everything comes together flawlessly, naturally, and in accordance with His divine plan as you move forward and put your faith in His supply. Your prosperity is a potent testament to God's unwavering responsibility to provide for His chosen ones, and it goes beyond simply being a personal blessing. Each and every income, benefit, and resource that enters your life is proof that God is keeping His word to you. It serves as a reminder to the world that His word cannot make up for emptiness and a living, breathing testament to His faithfulness. You are living as a testimony to others as well as for yourself as you enter your divine wealth. Your life will provide as indisputable evidence to others that God exists and fulfills His promises. Your accomplishment will encourage others to put their faith in Him and think that they too can benefit from His provision. Your life turns into a ray of hope and a brilliant illustration of what occurs when we put our faith in God's ability to provide for us. This testimony is for future generations as well as for the present. Your family and community's future will be shaped for years to come by the wealth you acquire. You will leave behind a legacy of plenty, trustworthiness, and the indisputable fact that God is a provider who never fails to fulfill His promises. You have been selected for greatness, and God bestows greatness upon you. It is not something that can be acquired. You have overcome all of the challenges, tribulations, and disappointments of the past. Any unfavorable memories or thoughts that might be preventing you from moving on should be let go. God's plan for your life defines you, not your history. There are obstacles on the path to greatness, but there is also a lot of supernatural support. You create space for the abundance of God's blessings to enter your life when you let go of the burdens of hardship. Even though your past is full with conflicts, your future is full of triumphs. Now is the moment to accept the greatness that has been reserved for you. Accept your heavenly vocation. Enter the glory that God has planned for you. You can now confidently enter the future He has planned for you, one that is full of wealth, purpose, and a life that reflects His glory, free from the constraints of your past. Nothing can stop you from rising to the occasion. Divine prosperity is a promise that never expires, not only a fleeting sensation. It is a blessing that is unbounded by human constraints and flows freely and continuously. Accepting this promise opens the door to an infinite and endless world of riches. There are no limits to God's provision for you. In terms of material, emotional, or spiritual richness, He has assured you that you will have all you require and more. Imagine the ocean's immensity, its boundless life. God's provision in your life operates in this manner. It is an unbounded, limitless resource that never runs out. You begin to realize that there are no limits to your success or obstacles to your advancement as you embrace this divine promise. The abundance that God has planned for you is far greater than the blessings you currently enjoy. Every second is a chance for more to enter your life. You are not bound by the constraints of the world when you live in divine abundance. The concepts of abundance and overflow govern God's kingdom, whereas the systems of lack and scarcity govern the rest of the world. As a child of God, you have this inheritance, which is not just for you, but also for everyone around you. Your prosperity is supposed to ripple out and have a significant impact on your family, community, and the entire world. Having worldly belongings is only one aspect of this divine richness. Another is leading a life in which all of your physical, emotional, and spiritual needs are met. Every aspect of your life is impacted by God's wealth, which enriches you in ways you cannot fathom. Furthermore, your potential is indeed boundless, since His wealth is endless. Accept this reality now and let the overflow to start. You start living a life that far beyond your expectations when you give yourself permission to fully embrace the grandeur of God's provision. Your fantasies become real blessings, and what you once believed was unattainable suddenly becomes your reality. God's provision goes beyond simply providing for your necessities. It includes providing you with more than enough to have an exceptionally fulfilling and purposeful life. We frequently set boundaries for ourselves based on our perceptions of our own worth or potential. But when we release these constraints and have faith in God's capacity to give, we discover a world of blessings that surpass our wildest expectations. God wants to bless you abundantly so that you might benefit others, not merely to provide for your needs. The purpose of His providing is to propel you toward your destiny beyond your own self-imagination. Aligning with God's intention for your life is the direct cause of this abundance. It is not a coincidence. The more you believe Him, the more He lets you take advantage of chances and open doors that are beyond your wildest dreams. God's supply always surpasses your expectations, whether they are related to financial triumphs, professional progress, or personal development. He is an abundant God, and your abundance reveals His splendor. When we cease struggling and begin to trust, we will see the full splendor of God's provision. We discover that what He has in store for us is far better than we could have ever dreamed when we submit our ideas to His will. It's a life filled with joy, joys, and surprises that keep strengthening your trust in His goodness and provision. The blessings you've been waiting for will start to come to you in a natural and miraculous way as you enter a new season. This is a time of miraculous supply and plenty, rather than hardship or lack. You will start to experience an abundance of benefits that seem to come out of nowhere when you align yourself with God's purpose for your life. God's hand is at work on your behalf, directing events, creating opportunities, and bestowing rewards in a manner that only He can. More than just achieving financial success, the divine flow of blessings is about being favored in every aspect of your life. God will bless your entire path, whether it has to do with your relationships, health, or purpose. You start this flow by making a small mental adjustment. You can experience a spiritual outpouring that will affect every aspect of your life once you acknowledge that abundance is your heritage and begin to live in it. Consider the flow of a river. Everything they come into contact with is given life by them. God's blessings will come to you in this manner. You'll discover that the benefits are not only for you, but are intended to spill over into other people's life as you allow yourself to be receptive. Your life becomes a living example of God's grace when you enter into this flow, which is a vessel for His goodness. Enjoy this new season with the knowledge that God's favor on your life is the reason for your blessings, not something you have to work for. The extraordinary flow of God's gifts will take you to places you never would have imagined as you walk in obedience and trust. This is the time of year when God provides abundantly. Give it your whole attention and allow it to change every aspect of your life. Unseen doors of opportunity that God is prepared to open for you are paved along the path to heavenly wealth. These opportunities are hidden from view, but when you walk in accordance with God's purpose, He will make them apparent when the time is appropriate. When you believe God, He will guide you to the doors that will permanently alter your life, even though the road to success isn't always obvious at first. Opportunities that you could never have planned or envisioned on your own are waiting for you. These doors are not arbitrary. They are divinely arranged, whether it be a collaboration, an investment opportunity, or a job offer that appears out of nowhere. God is setting you up for success, and these chances will not only benefit you, but also provide you the tools you need to help others. Consider the biblical tale of Joseph. He faced difficulties and trials, but God used them to create opportunities that allowed him to ascend to prominence in Egypt. Like Joseph, God's hand is constantly leading you, even if times of trial frequently precede the doors of opportunity in your life. He will open doors to prosperity, success, and meaning when you stay committed and have faith in His timing. Accept the invisible and realize that there is a divine opportunity waiting for you to overcome every obstacle. Those doors will open wide as long as you hold fast to your faith, and you will enter a future of boundless affluence. God has a much bigger purpose for you than you can ever fathom, and He is constantly at work in the background to bring about your breakthrough. The goal of true wealth is to use your blessings to change the world, not to amass fortune for the sake of luxury or prestige. God has a far greater plan for your riches than you do. He will demonstrate to you how to use your riches to serve others, advance His kingdom, and carry out your greater purpose as you live in divine wealth. Your wealth should be used for good, as a means of helping and encouraging others in ways that are a reflection of God's generosity and compassion. Every money you get and every resource you have at your disposal is a chance to change things. Your wealth is intended to be shared, whether that be through charitable giving, aiding those in need, or funding an endeavor that advances God's work. God blesses you so that you might bless others in addition to yourself. God rewards those who utilize their wealth to serve His objectives. Thus, the more you give, the more you will gain. Your life will take on new significance as you use your fortune to change the world. Now, it's more important to accomplish the divine purpose for which you were formed than it is to just accumulate more. Since true riches is in line with God's plan for your life, it gives happiness, contentment, and tranquility. Your blessings are intended to contribute to something far greater than yourself, and you are a part of a larger design. This type of riches has the power to change not just your life but also the lives of others. When you use it for good, it's a riches that grows. God will increase your rewards the more you invest in others, starting a circle of impact and abundance that will last for many generations. You can access the prosperous seasons that God has planned for your life when you align yourself with His timing, which is flawless. There may be periods in your life when nothing seems to be happening. Then all of a sudden, blessings start to flow in and the floodgates of supply open. Everything falls into place when you are at the right place at the right moment with the right heart. This is the outcome of divine timing. God is a seasonal deity. There are seasons for preparing, sowing, and waiting.